There come some new rules from the EPA that is the point home that we got to do something about this, and with the wind at the agency's back being no less than the man we call the holiest on the planet. Right now, these EPA rules would go into effect for anything that's big on the road. So we're talking tractor trailers, delivery trucks, even school buses. As I said before, they make up a small percentage of vehicles actually on the road, but according to the EPA, they actually account for the lion's share of the smoke and yuck that we breathe in on the road. Ashley Pratte says that's a stupid argument, is against the EPA rules. Stassis Michael is saying that her argument, saying it's a stupid argument, is stupid. All right, so Ashley, first to you, you don't like what they're doing here, and furthermore, just by essentially agency edict, right?
The EPA is known for its overregulation, Neil. I mean, just before this, which, by the way, this is the second phase in their trying to reduce carbon emissions process, which means it's more of an economic burden. It's going to cause, obviously a lot of burden on the consumers as well who are purchasing vehicles, or, the school buses and the amount of fuel. And that's one thing that they're trying to target here. But what they're not realizing, that in this whole process, the research and everything that goes into it, it's going to end up costing a lot of money. But I mean, look, they started doing this, trying to control barbecues. They tried to control the amount of time you shower. It's just the overregulation that they love. And this is all because President Obama has made it a cornerstone of his agenda. I mean, he wants to be known for his action on climate change.
All right,
he
so
said
so
it's
you
the
agree with
biggest
pretty
threat
much everything
facing America.
I'm sorry, Ashley. You agree with pretty much everything she just said.
Absolutely not. I actually think I think this is the right regulation. Look, it is correct that when you look at school buses or passenger buses or even trucks, it's a small percentage of the vehicles that are on the road, but they cause a tremendous amount of harm, especially because a lot of them are clustered in very close quarters in urban areas, and that's a problem.
Is important? You think spending more does anything to help
Spending more is important when you're about, on the other end, engaging people's lives and extending their life.
To what end, though? As you think about it, I mean, I had, Mr. Merrick, of course, he's biased. He loves coal and all that, but coal institutions and fired utility plants are 80% cleaner than they were a little more than 7 years ago.
And that's important.
Not good enough. And now he's worried, and he's been laying off people left and right because of new regulations and those coming down the pike. He can't keep up with it. And now people's utility bills are starting to go up.
But
and they could go up more. You seem to think that that's okay.
Yeah, let's think about it this way. If you look at a place like New York City, about 75% of the food that comes into New York City comes over one bridge. And the fact that you have buses and trucks that are essentially causing traffic in some very densely populated neighborhoods, what you created these asthma clusters. So when you talk about the expense of this, you're either going to pay this money now up front to get these trucks and vehicles cleaner, or you're going to pay for it on the back end, or you're going to pay for it on the back end. You're going to pay for it on the back end when you have people getting sick.
All right, Ashley, what do you make of that? That it's not enough?
Neil, I completely agree with you on that. I want to go back to that point. This is the second phase. They have already done it. Cars have already complied. We've seen buses and whatnot. They've become more fuel efficient, and yet now here's another regulation for you. Let's spend more money. Let's put more money on the consumer. Let's put more restrictions on businesses just to regulate something. Look, I live in D.C., and it's full of hot air, as we all know, but it's not due to climate change. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right, guys, I want to thank you both. We'll watch very, very closely. Again, these are proposals. They're not hard and fast rules that are going into effect anytime soon, but they likely will.